Mike's Daily Podcast.
Wow, what a day yesterday. Wow. I just was, oh my God, I voted that way on that proposition. I think I made a mistake. Oops. Dang it. 1741 episode. It's Mike's Daily Podcast, broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcaster Valleymont, the last place on earth. I watched the Trump press conference yesterday.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Just about all 90 minutes of it. I was walking in and out of the room from time to time. I caught him yelling
Mike's Daily Podcast
at reporters. But it was interesting. And then I had a conversation with my mom. And of course, she blames the media for everything that's wrong. And she says, why do people get in the way of Trump? And I said, I got the mumps from watching that press conference. The mumps.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And it was a mess.
A mess. It's a mess.
But I guess that
Mike's
Trump said
Daily
Nancy Pelosi
Podcast
loves this country.
Yeah!
He said, I think Nancy Pelosi loves this country. So that's nice. Was that like a little olive branch? We'll see how long that lasts. Oh, it just ended. Okay. It ended as soon as it began. I find it fascinating, too, that question. I can't find it right now, but the one, I think she was from the PBS NewsHour, asked a question about, hey, you were talking about how you were a nationalist. Do you want to, that's got bad connotations to it. Was that the one where, and then Trump was like, that's a racist question. That was interesting. Hey, Greta Bronner's on CNN. I just thought I'd mention that because she's never, ever on anymore. But look who walked in.
Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, the gift shop supervisor. You watch a lot of C-SPAN.
I do. It's on at work.
Oh, okay. Is this work?
We're at Cafe Anyway. Yes, it's work. Because I'm doing my podcast, which is work. No, it's a hobby. Mike, do you make any money doing your podcast? No, I don't. Oh, it's sort of like a hobby then. It's sort of like a hobby, like collecting butterflies. Yes, it is like collecting butterflies. Thank you, idiot. Look who else walked in. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. We're having a great day.
Can you dig it?
And here's today's podcast picture.
We're going to get to that podcast picture in just a moment. Hold on, Ariel. First, I would like to play this little bit of Trump talking about doing press conferences that are 90 minutes long.
Then over the last couple of months, I decided I'll do a lot of stuff with the helicopter. We'll do this. We'll do a lot of...
Basil.
They say, why is he doing so many press conferences? What's wrong? What? So when I don't do them, you say, what's wrong? When I do them, you say, what's wrong? And when I go in the middle, you say, what's wrong? But in the media, you know that, John.
Wait, in the media, you people... There's a fantastic... Oh, and this was interesting. Did you catch this yesterday?
In the midterms.
Here we go.
If you don't mind, Mr. President, that this caravan was an invasion. As you know, Mr. President...
I consider it to be an invasion.
As you know, Mr. President, the caravan was not an invasion. It's a group of migrants moving up from Central America towards the border with the U.S.
Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it.
Why did you characterize it as such?
Because I consider it an invasion. You and I have a difference of opinion.
But do you think that you demonized immigrants in this election to try to keep...
I want them to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in, Jim, through a process. I want it to be a process.
Now that's fine. Isn't that fine? It's an exchange of views. The Republican position, can't just let anybody in. The Democrat position, oh, well, you're being mean to people. That's a great exchange of views. Deep down, we're all Americans. Deep down, we all care about America. Deep down, some of us care more about our fellow human beings than other people, but deep down, what a wonderful exchange of views.
There are hundreds of...
Then it got a little crazy.
Miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
Ouch! Ouch! Ooh! Did you hear that? He made a... He went after his ratings. Because to Trump, who was a television star because idiots watched his stupid show, The Apprentice, it's all about ratings.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President. I was going to ask one of the other.
Okay, now this is a weird part. I don't know if you've seen the video. There's a woman in a burgundy dress, and it looks like a shell type. No, those are they're like little metallic shells necklace, and she's got brown hair because the president likes brunettes, and I don't know if that's how she got her job. No. She's probably really good at what she does, and she's trying to get the microphone away from the CNN guy. Okay, and let's listen. Let's listen what happens next.
Other folks,
that's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am.
Pardon me, ma'am. He said very nicely. Then she looks to the president after he said, "That's enough." Okay, this gets good.
Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one of the.
Okay, now this lady in the burgundy dress squats down. Because apparently, I guess they're told you can't be on camera ever. So you're on camera now, so get down. Which, that's ridiculous. She's got to do her job. Dude, whatever. Punch the CNN guy in the face. Get the microphone. That was her job. But she was very nice. And, it's probably it's chaos. And now there's reporters fixing their hair, kind of going, uh-oh, what's happening here? Uh-oh, this is going crazy. One lady's got her iPhone or Samsung out and is recording the situation.
Question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation, are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian investigation because it's a hoax. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down?
I loved. Okay, at this point, Trump looks like he's going to walk off the stage. At this point, he's had enough. After he said, "That's enough." And actually, I really want to take that clip and put down the mic. That's enough. You may be hearing that in future podcasts.
Down in this investigation.
Okay, finally he gives up the mic. I don't know what. As soon as Trump walks off the stage, the CNN guy is like, "Oh, maybe I should shut up because I've just driven the president away. I took it too far. I've hurt our relationship." Oh, and then she handed it to this other guy who then I think he defends the CNN guy. Now Trump unloads. Here he goes. He unloads. By the way, listen to the new podcast from the New York Times where it talks about how Trump unloaded on Jeff Sessions. So Jeff Sessions recused himself. Let's count all the ways Jeff Sessions has benefited from Trump, shall we? Okay, let's see. He got to be fired by Trump. Oh, let's back up. Let's see. He got the attorney general job, to which when he took the attorney general job, he left an opening in Alabama in the Senate, and a guy who was a pedophile ran and almost won his position. But then at the last second, that Republican-held position that had been Republican for like decades went to a Democrat. Let's see how I haven't had a chance to look up to see if he's still in that position. If you don't mind, I'm going to look that up right now because I have the technology. But first I'm going to go to Bing so I get those points. Let's see. Doug Jones was his name, right? Was it Doug Jones? Doug Jones on session resignation. Vital to protect Mueller. Yeah, he's still a senator as of 14 hours ago. Okay. So Will Ferrell portraying Talladega Nights joins Alabama Senator. Really? No kidding. Will Ferrell. So Talladega Nights was this wonderful ode to Alabama. And when I lived in Alabama, I had to watch it several times a day in order to understand fellow Alabamans. But Will Ferrell, who is only about a year older than me, joined Doug Jones to encourage people to vote. This was back on Tuesday, appeared as a fictional NASCAR driver, Ricky Bobby. Did you ever see that? It had this line in it.
Anarchy! I don't even know what that means, but I love it!
And had the whole thing about praying to baby Jesus and all that. Did you see it? Did you like it? A lot of people didn't like it. They much preferred the Anchorman movie to that. But, okay, so here's one more Trumpism, Trump.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
And then that was done. Oh, but then the next reporter defends him.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Go ahead.
See, okay, as a president, that's... Do you want the president to say to the world, you shouldn't treat people that way? I know that makes us a police country where we go to other countries going, you shouldn't treat other people that way. But I like that clip. You shouldn't treat other people that way. And I like to put down the mic. This little exchange was rich with sound bites, my friend. I know, and I use a lot of sound.
Which is a very good thing. Which is a very, very good thing.
Trump is so rich in sound effects. Yeah, we had that other guy who had a couple things.
I will welcome ideas from anybody. I appreciate that.
And yeah, the Russians helped.
America elected Donald Trump. And yeah, the Russians helped.
And yeah, did you hear Facebook said that even more Russian trolling was going on just before the elections? I don't know it. You know why? Because I don't go on Facebook. I'm afraid to go on Facebook actually right now. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. But first...
Go ahead, Peter. Go ahead.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts his butt.
Well, I'm not a big fan of yours either, so...
I understand.
Oh, that was the best part of my day yesterday. I have to be honest. To see that. Oh. So he's trying to defend him, and Trump's like, you're under the bus too. Crash. Just crash into you, babe. I had about as good a day as John Deere the engineer is having. Thanks, Mike. I'm having a great day. Can you dig it? Mm-hmm. Thanks for doing this great recap on everything. You're welcome. I guess I'm done. Let's go outside a cafe anyway where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. This show's pretty good, huh? So far. Oh, I guess I've been full of mirth and happiness and funniness because deep down I'm very, 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 very sad because of what happened. I'm being completely honest with you. There was so this show is based on a show I did for 11 years called the Santa Fe Cafe. I did it on a radio station called KHAY in Ventura County, California. And one place we held many events at, and a place that I went to many times, and I had a lot of friends there, was called the Borderline Bar and Grill. And last night, 12 people were shot dead. Last night. And I cannot believe this happened in Thousand Oaks. I was driving into work this morning, and I heard a quick blurb on I listened to the NPR podcast called Up First, and they mentioned there was a shooting that happened just after midnight or right around midnight that involved, it was in Thousand Oaks, California. When first they said Southern California, and then they said Thousand Oaks, and I went, wait, what? Well, I know one place in Thousand Oaks, and when they said a bar and grill, they didn't actually give the name. I went, oh no, my heart sank. But apparently he threw smoke bombs, and then he basically shot up this club. And it was a country club. We used to go there because it was the closest country club to us that there was this smaller one that had a really low ceiling that we did a couple events at, but we don't like this place. And Thousand Oaks had a lot of listeners of our station, and we used to set up there. We had quite a few country artists come through. Sarah Evans, who went on to become popular. A band that I really liked called Big House played there once. I'm scratching the surface on how many bands we hosted there. And most notably, the 11-year anniversary party, or maybe it was the 10-year anniversary party. That's why I think it's been 14 years since I've been there, because it was 2004 that we did this 10-year anniversary party for the Santa Fe Cafe. It took place there at the Borderline. Just the nicest people, and I would go back there quite a bit. The late 90s, I would go there a lot. And just to see, now, I haven't been there in so long, but I know the place well, and I know the type of people that go there. The people that go there are the nicest people, but apparently the shooter, I don't have the name in front of me right now, but Yeah. Apparently he was dressed in black. And oh, what's this? Ventura County Sheriff's Department Sergeant Ron Helis and California Highway Patrol Officer entered the bar first, exchanged gunfire with the suspect whose identity was not immediately known. Helis was shot several times and died at an area hospital. Good God. This is going to devastate Ventura County. This kind of thing just doesn't happen. Oh, so sad. Helis, a 29-year veteran of the Sheriff's Department, was planning to retire next year. They say he died a hero. He is survived by his son and his wife. Oh, this. I'm sorry, I'm not even giving this story. It's just what it deserves, and I cannot believe this. Well, anywho, yeah, sad way to end the show. But that happened, and it just, I don't know, this is happening too much, and now it at some point is going to touch everyone. It's just touched me. A year ago, I heard the news that the place I lived in Ventura County near Thousand Oaks, Thousand Oaks is in Ventura County. I lived in Ventura, which is about a half-hour drive to Thousand Oaks from there, and the place that I lived in was burned down because of that horrible fire, remember, a year ago? So, yeah, I would like to post a picture today as we wrap up the show of a nicer time 4 years ago when I went to Sausalito, and my Google Photos thing popped this up for me yesterday and said, hey, 4 years ago you were doing this, and I went, oh, how nice. So I will post a picture from Sausalito from 4 years ago, and thank you for listening to the show. I hope better news tomorrow, hopefully, right? Okay, thank you for listening. Next show it'll be Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Email Mike now at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!
That was episode 1741. Just seeing the video from the shooting this morning, the video of people being taken out to ambulances, and then hearing someone talking about how they broke the windows to get out of that place. That borderline not an easy place to get out of, because part of it is on a hill, so they're jumping out and they're basically dropping 10 feet or more to escape. And just so sad. I know it's cliche, but my heart does go out to them, and I hope Thousand Oaks and Ventura County can heal soon.